Hi there Waltineers, I'm Jack and this is DSNY Newscast, and today I want to talk about the future of this abandoned building here at Disney Springs, which you probably know is the former NBAExperience. But first, I think that we need to talk about how it got to this state to begin with.
As in 2014, the NBA extended partnerships with Disney and Warner Media through the 2024-2025 NBA season. However, Disney's partnership went much deeper than just TV rights, as in 2015 it was announced that the NBAExperience would be coming to Disney Springs at Walt Disney World. However, soon it became obvious that this wasn't going to be a win for fans of the interactive indoor theme park Disney Quest, as its final day of operation came on July 2nd, 2017. But this closure of Disney Quest was not so that the building could be repurposed, but instead it was so that it could be completely demolished to make way for a brand new custom-built 44,000 square foot facility tailor-made for activities featured within the NBAExperience. As after all, the NBA were footing the bill, and if that's what they wanted, that's what they were going to get. And in press releases over the years, this was hyped up to be a one-of-a-kind destination. And that turned out to be all too true, in the fact that it seemed that no one of any kind wanted to visit it. Although you're probably wondering, why were the NBA even interested in Disney Springs at all? It has to do with the then Disney CEO, Bob Iger. As you see, it's no great secret that Iger is a big fan of the NBA, which is even reinforced by recent reports about Iger considering purchasing the Phoenix Suns after his departure from Disney. So considering that, it comes as no great surprise that Iger also is said to have a close working relationship with the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, which helped result in the restart to the NBA season at Walt Disney World in 2020. And so it's most likely this personal interest from Iger that drove the strategic partnership forward. Although, as is often the case with personal projects, sometimes you can lose a little bit of perspective, and that's exactly what happened here. As on August 12, 2019, despite all of the fanfare of NBA stars of past and present in attendance for the grand opening, along with Iger and Silver, it was touted proudly and prematurely as a slam dunk. But in actuality it was more airball than anything else, which was a direct result of the pricing making it an unattractive, expensive activity to do in between park days. And attendance actually got so bad that the NBA cast members were sent out to other areas of Disney Springs to try and dribble up some interest, but nothing worked. And so it came as no great surprise that after Disney Springs reopened in May of 2020, the NBAExperience remained closed, and stayed that way until almost 2 years to the day that it opened, when on August 16th, it was announced that it would never open again.
However, it seems that Disney isn't wasting much time in seeking a replacement,
as only 2 days later a permit was filed for structural steel upgrades on the building, which could be in relation to the internal reconfiguration, or it could be to replace or remove the steel panels embossed with the NBA players adorning the exterior. But despite that permit being filed in August, still no such work has started on the outside. Although recently lights have been spotted on inside the building, indicating that there must be some activity taking place. But the thing that looms over all of this is the contract with the NBA and the lease for the building, as that's not publicly available information. But no matter the contractual obligations, Disney won't want this 44,000 square foot space to sit vacant for too long, especially when considering the recent debut of the new Cirque du Soleil show Drawn to Life, as Disney is going to want to add something that will drive additional footfall within this area of Disney Springs.
But what that could be is the big question. And well, here's where we need to have a healthy dose of speculation, as the way I see it is that there are three logical contenders.
As way back in January of 2020, I first reported on the rumours that Disney had a team in the early stages of developing Disney-themed escape rooms and interactive puzzle experiences. However, then the pandemic happened, and that idea was paused indefinitely, as needless to say, being stuck inside a relatively small indoor space didn't sound like the best idea at the time. But now, according to insiders, it seems that this project may just be underway again. And despite the original rumour in early 2020 stating that the escape room concept was to be trialled with pop-up tests at resorts like the Polynesian and Saratoga Springs, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Disney might want to make better use of a 44,000 square foot space at Disney Springs instead. And it was said at the time that the escape rooms were to be tied to the park law of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. However, if Disney Disney were to have the space for multiple interactive environments under one roof, they could easily explore other IP-centric themes as well. But then the second speculative contender is relating to the virtual reality game space. Although this wouldn't be the first time VR has been at Disney Springs, as for much the same reason that launching escape rooms at the height of a pandemic would be problematic, the virtual reality company The Void permanently closed their operations at Disney Springs in August of 2020. But this wasn't the result of lack of demand at Disney Springs, as the tight integration with Disney franchises such as Star Wars ensured that it was a very popular location. But instead, The Void shuttered through the combination of hefty amounts of debt from unsuccessfully expanding into high-end malls, and then the practicalities of a pandemic meant that the business had to then sell off assets to a new holding company awaiting a relaunch. But despite that, The Void has shown Disney that there definitely is a place for VR game environments on Disney property. And considering that Disney is also interested in playing a pivotal role within the building of the metaverse, this type of virtual reality experience could be vital in introducing the concept of the metaverse to the Disney audience as well. And so whether The Void decides to return in a bigger and better way under a new company, or Disney decide to go it alone and launch their own version of a virtual reality game arena, there is definitely an audience for such a concept. However, the concern relating to either escape rooms or VR game spaces is that the NBAExperience building has been very specifically designed to host a certain set of basketball activities. And so whatever ends up replacing it will require an extensive reconfiguration of the internal structure of the building, although there are other prospects that could be an easier retrofit of the existing building. As for an example, they could use the venue as a pop-up Disney Instagram experience, like what Disneyland opened at Downtown Disney in 2019. And if you're not familiar with what this is, well, it's a pop-up art museum that puts you right in the middle of the unique art installations or environment, so that you can capture photos from interesting angles and perspectives. And these kinds of experiences have become increasingly popular in recent years. And so considering that Disney has already created this for Disneyland, it would only be logical that they might want to bring something similar to Walt Disney World as well. Then on top of all of that, with the rise of TikTok and Disney's approach to the platform along with custom filters on Instagram and Snapchat, this might be an opportunity for a partnership with social media companies to create a pop-up space with more interactive and dynamic elements, whilst also serving the dual purpose of generating natural engagement and marketing online. However, there is one last idea which I personally would love to see, albeit it's probably the least likely to happen, and that is to use the building as a proper interactive museum for the Walt Disney Company, as with the company celebrating its 100th anniversary in 2023. I think that right now would be the perfect time to create an interactive museum with interchangeable exhibits. But there's two reasons why I don't think that this is likely, and that is because D23 Expo tends to have these kinds of exhibits, and then also if Disney were to build an interactive museum, I think that they would need a much bigger venue to properly implement the concept. And so it's more likely that we'll see either a VR game environment, themed escape rooms, or an Instagrammable pop-up art museum fill this space. Although do remember that this is just speculation, based upon previous Disney partnerships, rumoured projects, and developed concepts.
But now it's over to you, Waltineers. I would like to know, what are your thoughts and opinions about the NBAExperience, and also what would you like to see replace it if you could choose anything to come to Disney Springs? And also don't forget to put the timestamp for where the hidden Mickey appeared somewhere in today's video, along with your suggestion or your comment, so therefore that way you'll have a chance to win one of these official DSNY Newscast enamel pins. And congratulations to this Waltineer here for winning this suggestion from the previous video where we were talking all about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway over at Disneyland. And so that's it for today. So be sure to go ahead and subscribe down below if you're new to the channel. Hit that notification bell if you're already subscribed and would like to receive notifications. And also, if you've enjoyed today's video, then be sure to give this video a massive thumbs up, as it really does help this channel out. And I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.